Hello, everyone. Stephen Meade here with Domicile real estate for people who love houses. And this is a very, very special episode of window shopping. We are doing something different this year, and that is we are giving out our award for our 2023 Home of the Year. Now, this is a home that came up for sale this year in 2023 that we think is particularly special. It is a home that we featured in a video in the past, but we're going to take a little bit of a deep dive of why we think this home is so particularly special. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to take a look at this house, and I think some of you might already know what it is. If you looked at the thumbnail, you might have recognized the photo, but there are really three reasons that this home is particularly special. Reason number one we're going to talk about is the historical element and the significance of this home, kind of not just as a house by itself, but also as an icon in the industry and what it represents for home building and residential architecture. The second thing we're going to talk about is why this home is important to you. Even if you are not the person buying this home can affect you. And we think that that's pretty special. And then finally, of course, this house is fucking amazing, right? That's the other reason why we're featuring it, because it is so cool. So let's go ahead and take a look, and we're going to go through this and we're going to talk about what makes it special. So number one was history. And by the way, if you haven't guessed it already, we are taking a look at the home in the Crestwood Hills development designed by architects A. Quincy Jones and Whitney Smith. This is, of course, part of the Mutual Housing Association in Los Angeles. This is when a group of artists got together, and it gradually expanded to include 400 people to buy up land and develop a hillside just underneath the Getty Center off of the 405. And I think the other big thing about this is you have to understand these are not large homes. In fact, this home, after being enlarged, is only 1,388 square feet. So when you think about that, right, these are not big, glamorous houses. And I think that's an important point to make. We so often associate size with quality and prestige. And I think this home proves you don't have to have size to indicate quality or prestige. Now, something else that we find especially interesting about this house is that it did something else that's important in the world, and that is it took an architect who was top tier. I mean, we're going to show you some of the homes here. We're going to have some pictures come up on the screen. I mean, look at these houses. These are amazing, right? I mean, these are super cool homes designed for celebrities, people like Gary Cooper, Hollywood elite. And yet, this architect also designed these homes that were meant to bring this level of design to everyday people. Now, unfortunately, looking at the price of this home, which is still under contract, so we don't know what it's going to sell at, but it's over $2 million, this is no longer an accessible home. But that brings us to our second point. How does a house like this affect you? Well, I think a home like this, you can either look at it as kind of a sad note at how expensive housing has gotten and how you might never be able to afford something that's cool and it's not even that big, but it's so expensive. Or you can take another viewpoint. You can look at this as kind of the glass half full. And I think that's the way I would prefer to look at this home. This home is an inspiration. You don't need a 20,000 square foot lot. You don't need 3,500 square feet to have an amazing lifestyle and living experience. And in fact, this home is an example of what it's like to take a smaller footprint and really jewel out every single experience as part of this house. I mean, let's go ahead and just take a look at a few things as an example, right, of doing this. So our first example, the first thing that we are going to take a look at, right, is how this home is sited. This home is on a hillside. It's got views of Los Angeles. It's got kind of everything. Now, you may not have these views in your home or there may not be views available in your price range. And by the way, just as an aside, everyone, if you are interested in architectural homes, we would absolutely love to work with you. This is our business, it's our specialty, and we share that passion, and we'd like to share it with you as well and represent you as your agent in an architectural or unique home. But if you take a look at some other things in this home, one of the things that I also like about this is some of the built-in design work, things like built-in shelving units, things like half walls that go up to semi-separated kitchen. There are a lot of small bespoke details in this home, little reading nook corners, places to enjoy the view and look out the window. This home is designed around a series of moments, those moments that make up your life. And I think we've gotten away from that. Instead, we build these generic boxes with things like bedrooms and square footage, forgetting that these are really places for people to live and understand what living is going to happen. I love the fireplace in this home. I love that they have subtle shifts in level. I think in the 70s, we did a lot of sunken fire pits and step-ups. Those have kind of gone out of style. But, there are a lot of homes that were built in the 60s, 70s, and 80s that have that. And I think this home shows that these design elements can work. These are great elements to show in a design. So this home is like a living example of the kinds of things that you can implement in your own property at all kinds of price points. Obviously, this one has an ocean view, designed by a famous architect in West LA. It's kind of a bit of a trifecta, right, of expense. But not every home is like that. And you could take some of these elements. For example, take the built-in office furniture in the den space. That is something that you could do in almost any home. You could do that in a 600 square foot condo and make something special about a space. So, we absolutely love that this home, it offers things like that. It creates these moments for living. And then finally, when it comes down to it, let's be honest, this is just an incredibly beautiful house. It's very well designed. It does have a famous name behind it. And yes, a lot of that is incorporated into the price of this home. However, it's not all bad news. And something that I also want to mention about this house that's really important because it pertains to historic and a lot of architectural properties is here in California, we have a program called the Mills Act program. And that allows you to essentially sign a deal with the city or county that you are in. And as part of that agreement, you agree to maintain the historical nature of that home. And in exchange, you receive discounted property taxes. For this property, which is worth, close to $2.4 million, almost $2.5 million, the assessed value on this property is under $450,000. And that assessment will transfer to the new owner. What is the bottom line of this? The bottom line is that essentially this will save $1,500 up to $2,000 a month in property taxes. So even though this is a very scary price point, sometimes there is a discount. What neighborhoods offer this? The Eichler neighborhoods down in Orange County in the city of Orange. They have the ability to obtain a Mills Act contract for homes that qualify and contribute and are in largely original exterior condition. So this is a great way to extend your budget. This home is one of those ones, it just has a bit of everything. It's got the views, it's got the design, it's got the bespoke elements, it has the pedigree, and also on a bigger philosophical level, it represents something important. And that's the reason why this home, this property here at 12367 Deerbrook Lane in Los Angeles is our 2023 Home of the Year. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. I hope you've had a great holiday period. We are excited to bring you more houses and more content in 2024. And once again, if you or someone you know is considering an architectural property or another unique home, either to buy or has one to sell, we would absolutely love to work with you. definitely reach out to us so we can lend you our expertise. We'll see you again real soon.